name is Jane Gary Duncan, and I'm the daughter of George Gary, who was in the bank and a cashier. I was born in 1924, and I'm now 88 years old. My father used to entertain bankers who would come, well, from New York. The Chase Manhattan man, I can't remember his name now, but I can remember when he came. Many of the bankers in Kansas City were friends, and they would come down. After school, I would walk down here, and my dad would be here. And I often went back then, and they would let me, they taught me how to run the switchboard. So I did that. They didn't have very many calls in those days, you know. They entrusted me with them. It was just my daily life, really. You know, it was just a part of my life. I can't really define exactly what would be extra about it. It was just a part of my life. I married Bob Duncan, Robert E. Of course, he was still in the Navy. And when we came back here and settled down, he went into the oil fields. And he worked for them for about 10 years and worked for an oil company out of Wichita. He was a salesman. One year he sold $1 million worth of pipe. I remember that was a big year. And then he told me one day that he would like to open a scrapyard. And would I be ashamed of him? And I said, well, no. If you want to dig ditches, it's all right, you know. And so he started with nothing. We didn't have anything. We had a very small savings account. Had 3 babies, you know. And so he started that yard. He bought it for $500, that building. Finally then, I went through the books one day and found out just in our account, he had just put $10,000. And I just took it out and marched down here and bought a CD. Didn't even tell him. And of course it was in his name, but I wasn't taking it myself. And so from then on, I watched the books pretty carefully to see that if we accumulated anything, it went in the bank. Because if I didn't, he'd buy a piece of equipment with it, and I didn't like that. So I love this bank, and I always have. So there you go.